Hey everyone, and welcome to another Game Explained discussion. I'm your host, Derek Bittner, and I'm joined today by Ash Polson to talk about his recent hands-on time with Sonic Mania. So let's get started. Well, Ash, you actually had the opportunity to go to Sonic's 25th anniversary party as part of San Diego Comic-Con because you were there with Udon, and you just happened to get a ticket, and what do you know, they showed off Sonic Mania and actually had a hands-on. So tell us about, I guess the experience.
Well, I mean, first I have to give special thanks to my buddy Aaron at Sega, because he's the one who got me in the media list for Game Explained. So if not for him, I wouldn't have gone, because I did not pre-order a ticket, so thank you for that. And man, the party was amazing. Like, even if I wasn't there working, just as a fan, I would have been so happy to be there. Like, they had a great lineup of events. I know that the stream apparently had some problems, so I don't know anything about that, but the actual venue was fantastic. Seeing Crush 40 live was amazing, or at least what I could see. My phone was constantly near desk, so I was constantly tethered to the wall with my power adapter, trying to upload stuff for Andre, while I was like running back and forth, getting glimpses of Crush 40. But still, hearing them live was amazing. They had some cool little retrospectives, lots of fun announcements. They had free chili dogs for everybody, because of course, why wouldn't they have chili dogs? And, open bar. It was great. Like, it was a really, really nice party, and if I had just gone there as a fan, I think I would have had a fantastic time, over and beyond working. So really kudos to Sega and their whole team for putting this together, because it was great.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I was kind of jealous because it did seem like a pretty fun lineup, and, well, probably most jealous of the fact that you actually got to play Sonic Mania, which looks amazing.
Oh man, it plays as amazing as it looks. Like, I really can't praise the game any more than I have already on social media. Like, wow, this is the real deal. I mean, when you have Christian Whitehead's name attached to it, you're looking at the real deal. I mean, this is the guy responsible for what are widely considered the best modern ports of Sonic 1, 2, and CD out there, which are the Xbox Live Arcade and iOS versions. So, or I should say mobile versions. So, when you have his name attached, you're getting an authentic classic Sonic experience, and that is exactly what Sonic Mania is so far based on my playtime with it.
It really looks like it. So you got to try out both levels?
Yeah, so I got to play both Green Hill and Studiopolis a couple of times actually, so I got a good feel for the game. It really does, this isn't Sonic 4. This isn't something that looks like it's supposed to try to be the old games. This is something that absolutely captures the feel and the momentum and the spirit of the old games, of the classic trilogy.
Mm-hmm. So tell me a little bit about Green Hill Zone.
So Green Hill Zone is an interesting mix of what you remember plus things you don't. So, as you've probably already seen in some of the footage, you have things, elements like the corkscrews that first appeared in Emerald Hill Zone in Sonic 2. So you have things like that. I was able to find a secret compartment that did not exist in the original version of Green Hill Zone that now houses a special stage ring. Of course, the ring was hollowed out, so I wasn't able to jump into it because it's not the final version of the game. But, there are definitely, elements that are unchanged from the original version of the zone, but then they kind of build on top of those to create a new version of Green Hill Zone. It's not an entirely new level. There are old elements, and there are, a lot of the hills you remember are there. The loops are there. It's not completely overhauled, but then it's kind of like an interesting mix where there's new course elements and course architecture built on top of the old stuff.
That's really cool. I mean, I did the analysis recently and took a look at Green Hill Zone, and the thing that really stuck out to me the most about it is it seems like this mix between classic Sonic speed and difficulty mixed with the exploration that Sonic CD introduced. And is that the feeling you got as well? Did you get a Sonic CD vibe when playing it?
Yeah, I definitely did. There's, I think a lot of that is down to the graphics and the music. I'm definitely getting a 32-bit vibe from the game in general. It definitely kind of looks and feels more, more post-Genesis than actual Sonic 1 through 3, which is great. And I do agree with you. There is more emphasis on exploration to a degree. I mean, the game is still built for speedrunning. You can still blast through the levels as fast as you can, and that's fine, and that's a great way to play, but the levels are bigger, like they were in Sonic CD. So, especially Studiopolis. Studiopolis was a huge level, and I was surprised at how long it took me to finish it. So I would definitely say that in terms of the overall level design, at least for the new stuff and for the new stuff in the old levels, you are right. It is kind of a Sonic CD vibe where there's more of an exploration vibe, and there's a lot of verticality to the levels as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's absolutely what was coming across to me, and just the fact that you were able to spot the bonus rings from Sonic 3. I'm like, yes, that finally means Blue Sphere is probably back for this game. And
well, I mean, then again, not necessarily, right? Because I mean, we could. I mean, even Sonic 1 had giant spinning rings that you jump into to get to the special stages. So that could just be the method of transportation to the special stages. But I'm not sure that we can conclude that the Blue Sphere special stage is back.
It could, but the fact that they have it specifically hidden like the Sonic 3 special stages and the way you access them is the same, that's the first time they've had something like that in a while. Although I guess I think the Sonic Advance games had something like similar to that where it was kind of hidden, but not in the exact same way as 3.
Right.
I just want Blue Spheres back because I'm sick of the half pipe from Sonic 2 for all these other Sonic games.
I am too, although I have to say I was never the biggest fan of Blue Sphere either, so I'm kind of hoping we get something entirely new. Like, I hope we get a new kind of special stage that isn't necessarily based on any of the prior games.
That'd be cool too. I'd be completely down for that. Maybe we'll get something based off Knuckles' Chaotic special stage.
That would be very interesting.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, though, that 32-bit vibe it did kind of remind me of Knuckles' Chaotic as well. So I don't think this is necessarily just a love letter to the first 3 games. This is kind of an amalgamation of a lot of classic Sonic stuff.
Yeah, it really seems like that. I mean, who expected the combined ring to be back from Knuckles' Chaotix?
Yeah, totally. And then, you've got stuff like the elemental shields from Sonic 3, which are back. And, you've got the Extra Life theme is based on Sonic 3's, and so is the Stage Complete theme. Like, it's an interesting mix of, 1, 2, 3 CD and Knuckles' Chaotix. It's really interesting, and I'm really feeling it.
Yeah, it looks awesome. Like I said, I'm so jealous that you got to play it. Really wish they'd surprise at the end of the stream. It's like, and now it's available for you to try it at home.
Oh God, I wish. I mean, what I played already felt so complete, and I'm sure that's just because those 2 levels are the ones they were prepared to show off. But it doesn't feel like a spring 2017 game. It feels like a fall or holiday 2016 game. The fact that we have to wait so much longer for this game is killing me, because I'll tell you right now, and this is probably the highest endorsement I can give it, as soon as I played Sonic Mania, it skyrocketed up to the top of my most anticipated games list for 2017, alongside Breath of the Wild and Kingdom Hearts 3. I am seriously so hyped about what I played at this show, I can't even tell you guys.
Man, I'm so jealous. But, okay, brand new level, we got Studiopolis Zone. What are your thoughts on that?
I love it. That was probably the level where I got more of a Sonic CD vibe than anything. The backgrounds and the kind of Art Deco-esque architecture of it kind of gave me a Collision Chaos vibe. I want to say, and just I love the I don't of course you saw it doing the analysis, Derek, but there are a couple of areas in Studiopolis where you see this old Disney-esque rendition of Eggman. And it's kind of like an old cartoon rendition of Eggman, and that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. This is, as a Sonic game, this feels like it has its own kind of energy and creativity. This feels like Sonic Team firing on all cylinders. It really does.
Well, it's not even Sonic Team. Sonic Team has nothing to do with this. Christian Whitehead's team is just taking that vibe and just expanding on it so much, because I think Studiopolis Zone is the place where you're really getting the sense of what's new about Mania.
That's true. Although I thought they were co-developing it. Is it really just Christian
There
Whitehead
is
and his team?
There is no sign of Sonic Mania, the Sonic team working on this at all.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
Yeah.
So they're entirely focused on Project 2017.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
So yeah.
Well, then the Christian Whitehead again is proving just how talented he is, because it feels like it would not have been out of place in an actual classic Sonic game.
I mean, it's also a theme that you don't really see in platformers too much. At least not 2D ones, like a movie studio essentially, and all these different callbacks and stuff to what you do in a recording studio or acting or anything like that. And I love how all the new badniks are themed to the level.
Yes, absolutely. And I mean, there's just so much creativity on display here, and the level was a lot of fun to play through. Like any good Sonic level, it introduces some fun new gimmicks that, fun new ways to get around, and I love that. Really, I can't think of a single complaint that I had about either level, to be honest with you.
That's Wow. That is impressive.
I mean, yeah, I'm trying to think, and I'm like, I guess a complaint would be that I couldn't figure out how to do the drop dash while I was playing, which that's not really a fault of the game. I just wish a Sega rep had explained it to me. But other than that, I mean, honestly, this is classic Sonic, but with new levels, essentially, and new old levels. So unless they somehow completely drop the ball between now and spring 2017, I don't see how this is going to be anything other than a fantastic, new 2D Sonic game that plays exactly like the old ones.
That sounds incredible. I do have a question for you when it comes to both these levels. How was the difficulty? I'm guessing because it is a demo, and we know how demos typically go for industry games, like they're showing it off. It was probably relatively easy.
I would say it was easy enough. Studiopolis was definitely harder than Green Hill. There was some tricky platforming, and you actually had to put in a little effort to get to the end of the stage. I mean, it wasn't handed to you on a silver platform or a silver platter. I don't know. I wouldn't call it hard yet, but I also wouldn't call it easy. I mean, there is some tricky platforming that you have to do to get through Studiopolis. So I would say, there's some difficulty there, but it's not oppressive. But it is the kind of difficulty where I could see this approaching or eclipsing classic Sonic difficulty, however you perceive that.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. And it seemed like at least the guy you were filming had a little bit of trouble with the boss of Green Hill Zone.
Oh, that was driving me crazy. Like, I appreciated the guy for playing and agreeing to let me film him, but it was just driving me crazy because he's having so much trouble with some of the elements. But I did fight that mini boss, which I love that you're getting new mini bosses now at the end of old levels, I guess, like Green Hill. And it was fun to fight. I didn't find it that difficult, and I didn't, it wasn't that hard. But yeah, it's kind of like a fun new challenge, something that I didn't expect. And based on playing both levels, I definitely see this game being around as hard as the original trilogy. Like, I still consider Sonic 3, like, if you want to beat Sonic 3 and Knuckles 100%, get all the Chaos Emeralds, all the Super Emeralds, I don't think that's necessarily easy. Like, I still find that to be somewhat difficult, and I can see that being the case here with Sonic Mania. It was not dumbed down in any way, I felt.
That's honestly great to hear, because I always found the Sonic Challenge to be, kind of perfect. I always had, it was always challenging, but not impossible, and I think that they struck a good balance with that. And to see that kind of thing return here from Mania is fantastic. So, all right. Music. I mean, we've all heard it by now. Thanks to you, we have all those samples, rips, and everybody loves Studiopolis Zone.
God, I mean, how couldn't you? I can't stop listening to it either. I mean, and in the context of the game, I just got these goosebumps. I'm like, this is what I wanted from 2D Sonic. I've wanted it so much for so long after Sonic 3, and I knew I missed it, but I don't think I realized how much. And just when the whole experience kind of comes over you and you realize you're playing a new 2D Sonic that plays like the old 2D Sonics, you're hearing this incredible music, you're looking at these graphics, like it really does feel like the complete authentic package here. Yeah,
wow. Now, are you familiar with T. Lopes, the composer or person doing all the music for Mania?
I am now. I was not previously, but then I looked up who was doing the music, and I am now a subscriber to his channel. And I am so excited to hear the rest of this soundtrack. Like, I'm as excited for the soundtrack by itself as I am for the actual game.
Yeah, no, I was not super familiar with. I've heard his name before, but never checked out any of his stuff before that point. And I've listened to, I believe it was Spring Yard Zone. I listened to a Spring Yard Zone, and like, holy crap!
Oh yeah,
it was amazing. And of course, immediately went to Starlight Carnival. Thought that was really good as well. But Spring Yard just stuck out so much to me. I'm like, man, this guy has some real talent. He just nails that vibe, especially adding, as many people have said, that Sonic CD vibe to a lot of the music. I've heard from a lot of people that they get a real close vibe to Japanese Sonic CD's soundtrack with Studiopolis.
Absolutely, and I don't think that's an accident. I think it's absolutely intentional, and I love that. I mean, I'm definitely getting a Sonic CD vibe, and I'm also still getting even a Sonic 1 through 3 vibe. Like, he just captures that essence of the Genesis and the Sega CD sound. Mm-hmm. And I Sonic 4, I feel like tried to do that, but in all the wrong ways. Like, Sonic 4 had some of those familiar synthesizers in its music, but I feel like they were there just to say, hey, this sounds like the old music, but the composition quality was not there with Sonic 4. Here, we're getting the whole package.
Yeah, it really seems to be the case, and I enjoyed the remix of Green Hill Zone, and it's looking so good, and that's why I want that demo, because people would just play that over and over and over again to find every little secret, because and even just going like that analysis was rough. I'll say that much.
I know, I bet it was.
Because there's just so many details packed into every frame, every little thing that you can find. And there was so much to see and do. And all the references and stuff that we found and other people have found, it's been incredible to see what they've put together. And it's just, man, I can't wait for more.
Me too. I mean, and I love how it's also not just harkening back to Sonic 1 necessarily, but as I said, it's an amalgamation of all the classic 2D Sonic. So you've got, Sonic's full speed running animation is taken from Sonic CD, even although it looks even better here, and things like that. Like it's such a collection of things that people love about every 2D Sonic game, and I think that's key. I mean, to me, Sonic Mania is doing for Sonic what Mega Man 9 already did for Mega Man several years ago, and I think a lot of people have been wanting Sonic to do that, and Sega finally got the message, and they're responding loud and clear. Like, this felt like a very confident Sega at the party in general. Like, this felt like a Sega who was firing on all cylinders and was excited about what it had to show, and knew that it was going to delight fans, and it did.
Mm-hmm. It absolutely felt like that as well. Even through all the stream troubles, it still felt like they really knew what they were doing, and had everything kind of lined up. So because that's the thing that everybody was talking about. It's like, man, it's the streams like kind of crapping out on us, but it's still like the announcements are so good and everything they're doing is so good. Real quick question. I think I know the answer to this one, but I'm guessing the frame rate is a rock solid 60.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I thought so.
So far, I didn't feel it stutter. I mean, I didn't really feel any there were no technical issues or glitches in the demo that I found. So, I mean, really, I just had this great feeling I just had the goosebumps playing the whole time. Like I said, when that music kicked in and I realized I was playing a new 2D Sonic game that felt authentic, I'm like, this is amazing. I wanted this for so long, and I felt great, and it felt great to play. And I think that is key here.
Mm-hmm. All right. One final question, since a lot of people have noticed this, is that they did not announce it coming to either the Wii U or the NX. Do you think it could actually run on either of those? Well, I'm guessing the NX.
I don't see how it couldn't.
Yeah, I suspect it'll eventually come to the NX, but you don't think it's like too beyond Wii U?
I don't see how it could be. I mean, I know there's a lot of incredible pixel animation going on, but I mean, if the Wii U can play things like Smash and Mario Kart 8, I don't see how it couldn't play, a brand spanking new 2D Sonic game. I don't know a whole lot about what goes on under the hood of gaming systems. I'm not a programmer, so I could be wrong about this, but I didn't see anything that made me think this couldn't be done on Wii U. So I'm guessing maybe it's a licensing issue. I mean, of course, NX is getting Project 2017, so I don't really know what's going on with that. I was kind of surprised not to see Wii U, but it also may be the fact that it's coming out in spring 2017, and by then Wii U is going to be all but dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I feel like that's really the only reason.
That very well could be. I just thought I'd ask, since you got the chance to play it, see if there's anything that just makes it seem beyond that, because it did feel conspicuous, especially since Project 17 had NX on there, so at least put NX on there for people to download it onto that. Because I assume this is going to be a download game or something to that effect.
Well, I'm wondering if maybe, and this is just spitballing here, but Project 2017 is coming out on NX, and they might have felt comfortable saying that because it's holiday 2017. Mm-hmm. This is spring 2017 can really mean anything, and they may not know exactly when it's coming out yet, so maybe they don't even know if the NX is going to be out by the time Sonic Mania is out. So It may very well be announced for NX down the road, because like I said, I didn't see or play anything that made me think this was too advanced for NX or Wii U or anything. Yeah,
so it definitely seems like one of those cases. I think because that's the feeling I got. Is maybe they're waiting for the NX to be announced, and they're just feeling like maybe it's better just put this on the NX and not worry about the Wii U version at all. So I'd say once we get more solid details on the NX, then they'll put out like, oh hey, by the way, Mania's coming to NX as well.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if it did, just because, I mean, you know, Sonic has always been cozy with Nintendo. Sega has always been cozy with Nintendo, of course, you know, ever since Sega went third party. So Sonic is almost at this point seen as a Nintendo family character. And by that I mean you see him in Smash and things like that. So it feels weird and wrong to not have Sonic Mania coming out on NX. So I kind of think it might just be release uncertainty in terms of the timing of all this. So I kind of feel like when it actually comes out or closer to release, they may confirm an NX version. But, I mean, I feel like the message is loud and clear that people want it on NX.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But, well, with all that said, any final thoughts on Sonic Mania?
Just that I wish you could have been there with me for the reveal live as it happened, because watching that Sonic Mania trailer for the first time alongside that whole room of Sonic fans was absolutely electrifying. Like, the hype was so palpable, and especially, I think the part that really got people screaming was the 3 playable characters, Sonic, Tails, Knuckles. That was the message, loud and clear, from Sega that they heard us. They're like, hey, not all of Sonic friends suck. Like, not everybody hates all of Sonic friends. People generally get Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. That's kind of when a lot of people draw the line, but we get it. It's not just Sonic you guys like the trio, and here you go.
Nice. How to compare, just real quick, to the reaction to Project 17?
Oh, people were, I mean, I would say they were comparable. I don't think one was bigger than the other, but I think there was a little unspoken relief that Sonic Mania was not the big 25th anniversary 2017 Sonic game. Like, I think as excited as people are about Sonic Mania, I think there was a little kind of latent disappointment that might be it, that there wasn't another 3D Sonic game coming. And so I think there was relief and hype that both are coming, and it's not just Sonic Mania.
Yeah. 2017 will hopefully be a pretty good year for Sonic.
It's looking like it. I mean, you know, I will say that I am getting callbacks to the initial Sonic 2006 reveal that got people so hyped, and then we all saw what happened with that. But this is also a different Sega that we're dealing with here. This isn't, you know, this is a wiser, smarter Sega than we were dealing with in 2006. So I don't think they're going to let something like what happened with 2006 happen again.
Not if they purposefully missed the 25th anniversary.
Exactly. I mean, you know, the fact that they're even pushing Sonic Mania releasing in 2017 and not trying to get it out by some, you know, arbitrary release date or sales period says volumes.
Absolutely. So,
yeah.
Man, you got me hyped, that's for sure.
I got myself hyped. I wake up and I'm like, wait, is it spring 2017 yet? I want to play this game so much. And I'm hoping it'll be at PAX. Like, I'm hoping they want to do a public hands-on demo at PAX.
Oh, man, the lines would be huge for that.
Oh, I know, but I want to play it again. Like, I played both levels twice, and that wasn't enough. I need more. I'm so hyped for this game.
Awesome. All right, well, I think that covers it for our Sonic Mania discussion, so thank you for watching, and if you like this video, be sure to like us on Facebook and Twitter at GameXplain, and of course, stay tuned to GameXplain for more on Sonic and other things gaming too. Until next time, guys, bye.